And we were touching on the youngsters. Now let's go to the men's national team. Curious question. Why doesn't Stuart Baxter have a permanent assistant coach?
I'll start with this. I was thinking about this today because, his position at the moment seems so impermanent on a level. I mean, he was linked to Kaizer Chiefs sort of previously before the start of the season. And if you look at it now, he's probably going to leave, I would think, if they don't beat Libya. If they lose to Libya, because if they get a draw, they still qualify for the AFCON. So if I'm the head of SAFA, and I don't always have a lot of time for SAFA, but if I'm running SAFA, am I going to pay someone on a permanent contract that might be gone in the next 3 weeks kind of thing? So at the moment, it's kind of that kind of, I think, impermanence about it that's making the decision to appoint a permanent assistant coach a bit difficult. I don't think Baxter's kind of helped himself by appointing his son as goalkeeper coach as well in terms of what that looks like, but he is a qualified goalkeeper coach, so in that sense it's not such a problem. And then Sean Bartlett, he tried Quinton Fortune, it didn't seem to really work. Quinton Fortune left, and now Sean Bartlett's obviously come in, and I don't know if Sean Bartlett's going to be the assistant for the next match. It seems a bit up in the air. Maybe Mazzola knows who's going to be the assistant for the next match.
Any ideas?
No, I don't know who's going to be the assistant coach, but I do know that Chiefs had said they will not.
They won't release him.
Release him. I mean, when he signed the contract in December to be Ernst assistant. Remember also his Super Sport contract was now null and void because of that job, because Chiefs wanted Sean to be exclusively a Kaizer Chiefs employee. They didn't want him double dipping or whatever. So at the time, I don't know, maybe conversations have been had, because obviously Chiefs and Baxter are bosom buddies, so so maybe conversations have been had since then. But in December, from what I know, the story that I did, even checking with SuperSport, and SuperSport did confirm that Sean would no longer be working for them as a result of him joining Kaizer Chiefs. And from what I understood was that he would also not be part of the Bafana setup. Either way, it was a camp on a camp-by-camp basis. But the understanding was that because at the time he was unemployed, the understanding was that he would carry on for as long as he could, and especially it worked out better because he lived in SA, whereas Quinton lived abroad, and all the funny dynamics around that. But no, I don't have a clue who is going to be the assistant coach. It might just be Stuart and Mulifinzeki all alone.
But in fact, it should be also be remembered that this is the first international break since Mirandop came on as a Kaizer Chiefs coach. So it's crucial that in that break you get to work on a lot of things that where you feel that the team is lacking, and the way they've also been working at Chiefs.
That's true.
So they will need the assistant coach.
Sure.
And things are not going well at Chiefs. And if you look at it, the next, I think the quarterfinals of the Nedbank Cup are at the end of March. And this camp comes just a week before those quarterfinals. And
the Nedbank Cup is basically Chiefs' last chance of winning anything.
It's the only realistic chance that they have.
Of winning,
and they're playing against Cape Town City.
Right.
George Manuleka said they can still win the league.
I looked at the maths.
That was before the Polokwane City game.
Mathematically, they can win.
Yeah. So when you look at that, if I was a Chiefs head of technical, it would be a straight no from me, because I need my assistant coach.
Sure.
And it's not like they've got two assistant coaches at that time. Well, maybe with the MTC having finished, maybe they'll also second others one. But I just feel for me it's difficult, and I think I would also blame the coach. Because you see, seasoned international coaches, when they take jobs like this, they come with their own assistant coach.
Right.
And then the second assistant coach, as we've seen even here on the continent, you will be given by the FA.
Sure.
So in this case, but if you follow the story of Coach Baxter, especially after his return, I think even back then, you had Steve Hombela as an assistant coach. Now he also had Dr. Kumalo at Chiefs as an assistant, and He had Caetano Tembo at Supersport. So he's never been one
To have his own man.
to have his own man. Because most coaches prefer that. They bring one of their own men. So here, I felt this could have been handled better. Because the way I understand it, I also heard that Quinton Fortune was not really Coach Baxter's choice. Somebody was imposed on him by the SAFA hierarchy. So,
But why would SAFA impose someone who is not a crowd favorite at all? I mean, you remember the backlash when Quinton was hired as, that on its own was just mind-boggling.
I think whoever made that decision,
Did it for the optics or what?
well, he's linked to Man United.
Yeah.
He's still working as part of Man United as their scout. He will have that European representation.
And I think they wanted him to also be a scout to get in touch with the European-based players.
Yes. But if he was really somebody who came through the coach, I'm sure he would still have been there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hey, that's a tricky one. Okay, well, we'll see. Let's see. As you say, a couple of weeks, we'll know the fate of
on another
Baxter.
note,
Things
I
will
would
be-
raise if there's a financial issue here. I mean, I've always thought that SAFA have less money than they say they have. I mean, they've always, because when Baxter was hired, it was Danny Jordan was saying money's no object. Carlos Queiroz was in the frame. They couldn't get Carlos Queiroz. Interestingly, now Carlos Queiroz has been hired by, is it Colombia?
Yes,
As their national team coach. So obviously, if you have the right amount of money, Carlos Queiroz will come and coach you.
Yeah,
and
sure.
SAFA just didn't have the right amount of money, and perhaps it's the same with an assistant coach. It's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, Baxter is on the record saying that.
The issue of having the permanent assistant coach cannot be blamed on the FA.
Okay.
It cannot be blamed on
But
the
I
FA.
think it's two ways, Velile. I think the coach shouldn't necessarily be thrown under the bus all on his own here.
Mazola, I'm saying to you, look at Hervé Renat. You know that he always comes with his own assistant coach.
Right.
You look, even when Shakes was the coach, he brought Tabo with him, and the FA gave him Owen Dagama, and you look at most international coaches, and I remember this one very well because Coach Baxter always talks about he's forwarded the plan. But then you listen to the FA, they said, no, but we're waiting. And I've just shared now.
So who's fooling who?
I've just shared now.
Yeah.
I've given you his history coaching here in the country. And when did he come with his own assistant coach?
Yeah.
No, that's 100% true. Yeah, Campello was from the FA.
Yes.
Kamala was from the FA.
Yeah. He's always been assigned.
But they've never objected to
assistant.
Jairo Leal coming with...
With Pereira.
They never objected to Godni Hassan coming with Thomas Matichache. Serame was already in the mix,
Huh. So what does that say?
Fair point.
He's a tough man to work with.
I don't know.
Fair point. Actually, I hadn't looked at it from that point. That's a fresh perspective.
That is a good
because
perspective. Yeah.
I've always been wondering who's fooling who here, because
Yeah.
Baxter says financial issues, and then there were also talks of perhaps maybe the FA want their own person to they want to impose on who should actually be their assistant coach. And then on the other hand, you have the other story where the FA has always maintained that they're waiting for the coach to submit.
Maybe they want plausible deniability when it all goes
so-
pear-shaped. They
In
wanna
fact,
be able to say, hey,
even Pizzo begged them not to release Jairo Leal.
Yeah.
Because they were releasing the Brazilians to go back home.
Yeah, and they
Pizzo
said
begged them to
let
keep...
Jairo stay. Fair point.
But I mean, yeah, you're right. It's tradition that obviously Pizzo was there with Pereira from the FA and Jairo was there. So there's usually two.
a mix. Yeah. Okay.